Alright guys, today we're going to look at arm drags, why they work and why they don't work. We all know that we all teach arm bars and then they work 0% of the time. The reason why they don't work is, let's look at that first, is when I go for an arm drag, I'm starting from too far a distance. So as I go, it's very natural. Your partner sees you and he pulls his arm back, right? So as I go for the arm bar, he's just going to yank back. Now this is going to show us reactions from what they normally do. Like if I try that twice, I see what he does, tendencies, etc. And I know that there's an exposure to the leg. If I do it a little harder in this direction, I might even get this, right? Also, even if you get close enough and you do it, as you pull, another issue, he might just run away, or he might circle. So go ahead and run away to show that first. Go ahead, and he disengages. Or he starts spinning with me. As I go left, he starts spinning with me, now I have to protect my back. So, how do we avoid all this how do we prevent all this from happening? Well, the first thing we're going to look at is, I want my shoulder as close to his shoulder as possible. I want my hips as close to his hips as possible. So, when I go for the arm drag, I'm going to step in. So I do three things simultaneously. Wrist, here, it doesn't matter. Wrist, hand in the armpit high, so I can actually pull with my wrist rather than just my fingers. And then I'm going to step to the side right here. So now I satisfy two of those requirements. I'm shoulder to shoulder and I'm hip to hip, pretty close. The hand is past my body, between our bodies, and my elbow is tight here. I don't want to flare my elbow because he's going to re-drag me right there. Go ahead and re-drag me, and then he's going to take my back, okay? So, a lot of these things are fixed by distancing, proper distancing. I go in here, okay? You can set that up by getting your distance, and then you go in. Once I get to this position, now I have back exposure here. I'm going to start dragging down towards the floor, not far away, towards the floor, and reaching for the back, right here. Now I'm going to keep the arm in, and the simplest takedown of all from here is putting shoulder pressure down, or putting pressure on his shoulder down, and spiraling towards the floor.
So now we're going to look at Nicholas Margali against Wagner Rocha. The first attempt right here was unsuccessful, although he went for the leg. However, now they disengage and Nicholas gets to the exact same position, cuts the distance, and goes for that spiral takedown. Wagner inverts and recovers. Let's see it again, very slow. Okay, so Nicholas here also stretches his foot. We're going to see that technique a little bit later in the video. And then he goes for the back, and then he starts spiraling him down until Wagner Granby rolls out of it. Eventually, Nicholas establishes a position, but that's a great arm drag takedown.
And we land in this kind of position usually. That is because I held onto the arm. If I let go of the arm here, we end up in a body lock. Great, but I'm not going to be able to spiral him down that easily. All right? We'll see what to do with this in a minute. Another way to get him close is to actually stop him from running away, right? So when I pull him, he's going to run. But if I can stop him from running and keep moving his upper body forward, this is what's going to happen. Now I'm going to have back exposure. I do have to let go of his arm as I do that. So how do I stop his lower body? I'm going to put my leg up right here. Okay, so from here we go for it. Then as I yank, I step and I put my leg up right here.
And now we're looking at Felipe Pena doing the same thing to Gordon Ryan in the last ADCC, although he lost his balance afterward. But here we go, slow it down. He goes on the arm drag and then he puts his leg up. Gordon will recover ultimately, but this is the position that you want to look into, where he's losing his balance and his upper body is going forward as his lower body stays.
And this is what happens. His lower body stays in place, his upper body goes forward, and we land with a rear body lock. I need to let go of his arm, otherwise he'll fall on top of me. We land probably here. If we land here, we got to break him down. There's numerous breakdowns. I like this one. Put my foot here. I step to the side. I put my foot on top of his foot so that it can prevent him from stepping out as I drag him. Okay. Another situation that might happen is as I open him here, he doesn't go hands on the floor, but he stays seated like this. If his butt is behind his knees, and I'm going to feel that from body weight distribution, because I'm super attached here, all I have to do is really sit him down. Okay, that's a mistake on his part. He probably won't do that if he's more experienced. However, he might do this. He might stay in this kind of position where he's not on the floor and he's not back here. So as I go here, he stays there, right? Now a very good takedown from here, very simple, no requirements for any athleticism, is I bring my leg behind his leg. I don't want to leave it here because he's going to go for a knee bar, right? So I bring my leg here. I do not disconnect my body lock. The other one goes in front, so put your arm up so the camera can see. The other one goes in front, right here next to him, like this. My calf is in front of his shin. I'm not above his knee, right here. And then all I do is I bring my knee to the floor. Okay? My upper body takes care of the body weight falling down. My calf in front of his shin takes care of the block of the leg so he doesn't step forward. And lastly, if I go here and he starts disconnecting my hands here, what is the problem for me? The problem is that his hands are on top of my hands and sooner or later he'll be able to disconnect, right? So what I need to do is get his hands off here. How do I do that? I'm going to off-balance him basically. If I off-balance somebody, the first thing they do is probably, why? Protect their head, maybe not to smack on the floor. They go like this, right? That's a simplification of it, but it works. So as you go for the break. As he goes for the break, I don't wait here. I go there. Don't be so dramatic. Let's do it again. As I go, he goes for the break. Go spontaneous. Go for the break. Go for the break. Go for the break. If I'm bigger and stronger, that might happen. Most of the time, at least he's going to break his grip, and then I'm going to proceed with one or the other of the matching terms. Okay. So just to summarize, for arm drags, we need a proper distance. I cannot be here and think that I'm arm dragging unless I'm setting a takedown for the legs. So if we're far away and I do this, that's a different story. I'm talking about back and forth here. So I go in, hips are close, my shoulder is here, and then I turn. Now the front of my shoulder is behind his shoulder, the other shoulder is behind his shoulder. Then we go down to spiral, one simple takedown. If we notice that he keeps running away as I do the arm drag, so he doesn't let me, he keeps running away, we're gonna do a block, a leg block here. If he puts his feet on the floor, we break him down this way. If he comes up and he stays up here, seated, we can just sit him down. And if he's doing half the work there. If he leans a little bit forward but he's not sitting down, from here, we get behind next to him and drag him down. Notice that I use my hand for a pose here. I'm not falling this way. And lastly, this is more simple than it seems. Sorry, it's harder than it seems, but when he starts unlocking your hands, you really need to think about off-balancing him so that he can look to pulse on those hands. So as he goes, just do something like this. Now we're back to it, and we keep tripping. All right, stay connected. Nice arm drags and always finish on the back.